Here with the man they call Pocket Rocket, Leroy Rodgers. What's going on, Lee?
Good. Trained today. Trained twice yesterday in Philly. Today I've had some great rounds in. We're soon to be the best 130 pounder in the world. Stephen Fulton. Unbelievable learned experience being him in valuable rounds what I have learned so much from, and I'll continue to learn so much from when I keep doing it.
All right, now Lee, you fight 118. Scoot is, career 122, but moved up to 30.
Yeah.
Why did you come to America to spar him?
He's the best in the world. I've admired his work for a long time. I first heard about him when he sparred Carl Frampton. That's when I first started taking notice, because Carl Frampton's one of my favourite UK boxers. Funny enough, he's my mum's favourite fighter. And I've just been an admirer of his work since then. And he's done so much in the sport. I think he was a 4-time world champion, 5-time world champion, something like that. Soon to be 3-weight. So it was just a pleasure, and it's an honour to get in with someone like him, because that's where I want to be in boxing.
Wait, how long have you been sparring pros? You said Carl Frampton. Carl Frampton been retired for some time now.
No, I didn't spar. I watched him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw him spar Carl Frampton, like on Carl Frampton's Instagram, but I followed Carl Frampton because he was my mum's favourite fighter.
Yeah.
So that's how I first took notice of Stephen Fulton, and I've watched him ever since, really. So it was an honour to get in with him.
The funny thing is you say that now, thinking about watching y'all spar, I do see some Carl Frampton in you.
That's what my coach Henry says I'm like Carl Frampton, but I mean that's an honour as well. So I can only take that as a compliment, Conor.
All right, what do you feel like you learned today?
So many tricks. You pointed it out before. Said you pointed out before. I was even in the sport. I was trying to copy bits what you was doing. Double shoot right hand. I was trying to copy and learn bits, and it's definitely valuable around what I'll take so much from.
Now, do you feel like as an amateur you always had a pro style?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. Henry will tell you. Funny enough, I used to box when me coach.
Yeah.
He's my coach now, but I used to box with him at college, and he was a boxer at that time, and he used to always say you're so much more suited to the pros. Funny enough, we're aligned now, and he's my coach, and I feel better than what I've ever felt. So yeah, but to answer the question, I've definitely always had a more pro style.
All right, you saw Stephen Fulton on TV, but you just got in the ring with him. Name something that you didn't know that he had, or name a skill that it didn't look like he possessed, but when you got in there it was different.
Not that he didn't possess, but his jab was like a razor. He was shooting from all different angles, and his jab was so sharp. Definitely got the best jab I've ever saw. Like I've been in the ring with him boxing. He was firing it from all angles, and it was really, really razor sharp. Took us a little bit to get adjusted to, but it was a great, unbelievable jab. And obviously, I've always watched him. I've always knew he's had great defense. He's a dog, and but his jab, I definitely thought, wow, that's the quickest jab I've ever been in the ring with.
Yo, you did great. You did great.
Thank you.
Let's talk about you. Coming off a knockout win, you're 6-0. Free agent?
Yeah, not signed by anyone. Lee Eaton's my manager, and I don't have any promoter, unfortunately.
I mean, not yet. Let's say that. Like I said, you're coming off a spectacular knockout. How were you feeling about your progression in the pros from your days in amateurs?
I just feel like it's just always suited me, the pros, as I said before. But adapting, I came across Fulton in this gym about a year and a half ago. I learned so much, and that was just before my pro debut. I came across here, and then I've been to a few different places in America since. I've been LA, Vegas 3 times. I've been Texas. I've been a few different places, and I just feel like every time I come back, I keep progressing. So that's why I want to keep coming back, keep learning as much as I can from great coaches like Bozy and Pooh, and great boxers like Jerome, Cool Boy, a lot of them. It's full of great fighters in here, and it can only benefit me by being around them. So that's why.
When can we expect you back in the ring?
January, hopefully. I'm going to have a busy, active next year and pick up some titles. That's the plan, pick up some titles. Get a promoter.
All right, well, if the promoters are watching, and often they do, you got a message for them?
If you want the future of the Bantamweight division, call me.
That's Bantam and Super Bantam?
Any. Bantam or Super Bantam, any. I will make Bantam that for within the next few, these next few years I'll be a bantamweight, but there's definitely a chance. So I'm a big bantamweight, so I could definitely go through the weights as well. But for now, for the time being, I'm a bantamweight.
You heard the man Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, Ben Shalom, Solomon, free agent, man, undefeated, the pocket rocket. All right, as far as your fights go, right? Last fight was against a guy that almost 50 fights. It seemed like you're starting to fight that experienced guy. What's the biggest difference between the amateurs and getting in there with a 40, 50 fight veteran?
It's better, you know, like being able to break someone down and hurt them. That's what I want to do. Sometimes it's a bit different in the US, but in England it's a bit tippy-tappy, where you want to put on a show, and that's what I try and do every time. Well, that's what I do every time I get in the ring. As I said, the last guy I fought for a Commonwealth silver, I think. So he wasn't a mug. And when someone comes to have a go at me, the better Leroy Rodgers comes out. So that's what I believe in. The better opponents I face, the better I'll come, the better I'll be.
How much have you shown us so far?
How much what?
How much have you shown us so far?
Tip of the iceberg.
Yeah? I like it. All right, we got a lot of big fights coming up in the UK. Of course, the biggest, Chris Eubank, Conor Benn rematch.
Yeah. Rematch.
How you feeling about that fight?
It's a hard fight to call. Me and my coach were talking about this earlier. Controversial one, but I think it's going to be a draw.
Yeah?
I think it's going to be a draw. That's what I think.
Why?
The dads did it, didn't they? Chris Eubank Jr. won the first fight. It was a draw the second fight. I just think the stars aligned for it to be a draw. It's a bit weird, but it's definitely a pick what I think.
What did you see in the first fight? Do you felt like the weight had a lot to do with the outcome?
Yeah, well, Conor's a natural 47-pounder, but Chris had to show a lot to dig deep and go through. But it was my girlfriend's not even a boxing fan, and she said that's the best fight she's ever watched. So
yeah?
That shows that it was a good fight, and it's going to be another good watch this time.
You're from UK, right?
Yeah.
What is that every UK fighter's dream to fight in front of 80, 90,000 in Wembley?
Wembley's probably on the top, if very close top, to a lot of fighters' dreams, because especially a bit of headline like what they're doing, it's the dream really. I mean, me would be St James Park, but if you don't know what that is, it's the football stadium, and like football, not soccer, football.
Wait, what stadium you said?
It's the the soccer stadium in Newcastle, where I'm from.
Yeah.
That's where I would love. That would be my dream headline there. Wembley, obviously.
What's the big stadiums? It's what? It's Cardiff. It's Tottenham.
Wembley's the biggest, and then Tottenham, I think.
Yeah.
But there's a football stadium where I live, and that's 56,000, I think.
Shit, 56,000.
That's obviously with a soccer field in the middle.
Yeah.
So if there was rows of seats in there, I could probably hit 60. So that, and especially there's only one stadium in my whole city, so that would be the dream. I'd love to fight in Vegas as well.
So you're saying 5 years from now, you're headlining
Hopefully,
Newcastle, 56,000?
Hopefully. I'd like to take St James's, Wembley, Vegas. I always watched all the showtimes and stuff, the showtime videos, when Floyd was doing all these all access videos, and when I used to fight at the MGM, I used to always sit there in bed and think, oh, that's what I want. I want to do that. I want to do that. I remember my first ever fight I ever can remember staying up and watching was Floyd versus Ortiz. Bob Owen. That was, I think, they might have been 210, so I would have, 7-year-old I would have been.
Yo, that
was the earliest fight I can remember watching, staying up for.
You just made me feel so old, dude.
So that was, that's probably the earliest fight I can remember watching, and then ever since then I've always watched all accesses and fighting in Vegas as well. It's a close top of the bucket list there. That's a good one.
Okay. Give me the keys to victory. What does Chris Eubank have to do in this fight?
I was talking to Bozy and Henry yesterday, and I think start a bit faster, to be honest, because when he picked it up in the last fight, I think when he was on behind his jab it was a lot closer, but I think when he picked it up, went through the gears a bit, that's when he got his success. And I think if he'd done that a little bit earlier, I think it could be, that would be Chris Eubank's best way of winning, in my opinion anyway. I mean, Bomac's a great coach, so I'm not going to, whatever they do, I'm sure it's the right plan. So.
And what about Conor Benn?
I think he's got to be aggressive. I think he probably has got to do what Eubank done last fight, not exert loads of energy early, just try and nick the rounds and then pile it on in the second half of the fight, from 6 to 12, go through the gears and try to push the bigger man back. That's what I think both men could do, but as I said, they both got great trainers, and I think they'll both have a great game plan, so may the best man win.
All right, last question. I think the co-main event, my man Jack Catterall, El Gato, versus Ekow Eussuman. UK versus UK. How you feeling about that one?
Jack Catterall. I think I'll be pretty confident and very confident in Jack winning. I think Ekow Essuman's fairly suited to Jack's style, and I saw him in the gym yesterday and he's looking great, so I'd have full confidence that Jack would win that one.
Now this is Jack's second fight at 147, just moved up.
He fought Harlem
Eubank in the first,
Yeah.
So do you think that's going to be a factor, him having that fight to get acclimated to the weight?
Nah, I think, not that I've ever met Ekow Essuman in person, but I think there's not much size difference between them, so I mean, and Jack was a pretty big 140, so I think it would be, I think the size won't really matter, to be honest.
Okay. Decision or stoppage? Decision? Competitive fight, or is it Jack just... Shut out?
Like, I could Jack unanimous decision. That's my opinion.
Okay.
If I had to put a bet on, that would be my decision.